It's widely known that Madden Ultimate Team is the largest and most supported branch of the Madden community. From here on out, I will be referring to Madden Ultimate Team as MUT. Not only is it the most advertised and gets the most features, even though it's not that many, not only is it EA's biggest breadwinner, but it's also Madden creators' biggest breadwinner. The biggest Madden YouTubers are MUT guys, and as those franchise guys are getting phased out to the underground, and this leads to kind of a little brother big brother hate between the two communities. We franchise guys are pissed that MUT gets all the attention and the support, even though we were here first and we were their original community. And MUT guys either send that hate back or don't care because, and I quote, nobody plays that shit anyways. But this video isn't about the rift and triangle love affair between MUT franchise and EA. It's about the small percentage of us who don't have a problem with MUT, but there's one huge issue. Madden over the last 4 to 5 years has the worst matchmaking I've ever seen in my life. And from what I see, the matchmaking is the biggest turnoff for us who don't mind the game mode. Now, in theory, the system they have in place is good. All right, there's rankings, I believe. It's not going to be exact because I haven't played MUT in months, but I do know the rankings are like in tiers. All right, there's like rookie tier 1 to 3 up to all Madden 1 to 3, and yeah, I might have the names of the tiers wrong, this, that, and the third, but that's basically how it's set up, right? The more games you win, you level up, you know, tiers, and you get promoted. If you lose X amount of games, you drop down and you get demoted a rank, right? The reason this system is good because in theory better players will win more games and rank up high. Your trash players will lose a lot of games and rank low, and then you have your guys like me who will just mellow out in the middle between below average and above average depending on the week. Now there's nothing wrong with that system. It's actually a genius system, but the problem is the execution is very poor. The problem with this is MUT is a pay to win game mode, so you combine that with the fact that Madden is a meta game. All games have a meta if they're online. And now the good players win game theory is kind of thrown out the window. It's common knowledge that if you don't spend money in MUT, after the first month or so, you're going to be at a ever growing disadvantage until the end of that Madden cycle, until the next Madden comes around. But I'm going to pause on the pay to win stuff because it's kind of a dead horse and we need to let it rest. I'm going to tackle this beast from a different perspective and approach. So I know we're about a minute or two into this video, but let me state the problem directly. The issue is after a month and a half into Ultimate Team, pretty much everyone has a 99 overall team or the highest overall team you can have at that point, and most of the time you lose to somebody running 4 to 5 plays all game. And there are new guys trying out MUT every day, whether that be guys curious and jumping in for the first time, or the guy who's giving MUT a second chance because the other game modes do get boring after 2 to 3 weeks. And the ugly truth about these guys and everyone in between is that 9 out of 10 of their games will be against a player with the best cards on the market or someone with cards mega close to the best. And for the solution to this issue, we have to flashback to a game that released back in late 2012, in which I would consider the greatest racing game of all time. Now, to the few of you that are still watching, you're probably thinking, what does an 8-year-old racing game have to do with Madden? Madden? Well, Forza Horizon was the first racing game I ever played online, and to this day, it's the only racing game that I played online that I enjoyed. And that's because Forza Horizon has the best matchmaking I've ever seen in a video game. And it's sad that they didn't build on this system or bare minimum copy and paste it, but that's a whole nother topic for another channel. So in Forza Horizon, when you went online, you could select from a variety of different matchmaking options. The exact options will be showing on screen, but I haven't checked them, like revisited them yet. But as far as I can remember, there were a few different, you can matchmake by a few different classes, which my favorite of them was the pure skill matchmaking mode. And there was another one called, it's Playground, right? But the pure skill matchmaking would put racers in the same car with the same upgrades, and y'all race each other. It's pure skill. You have the same tools, try to get a win. Fun fact, I've only lost one race in that mode. Anyways, now let's use this basis. Imagine if Madden implemented a system like this. Imagine if you want to play a MUT game online and your matchmaking options were something like a 50 to 79 overall queue, 80 to 90 overall queue, 91 to 99 overall queue. A system like that would immediately solve our matchmaking issue, especially if you allow the ability to add and remove players from your lineup, which they already do. So let's say you have a 90 overall team 3 weeks in the game and you're having a hard time getting games. Well, how about drop Barry Sanders, throw him in the card deck, and Ultimate Legend Deion Sanders, drop your overall to like 88, you know, that kind of thing. And now you can queue with the 80 overall people, not the 90s. This simple change will make MUT 10 times more enjoyable. So now the no money spent guys don't have to wait 5 minutes with a 75 overall team to get in a match with a 95 overall. Now of course the thresholds don't have to be exactly that. Madden has a lot of great minds and I'm just a college dropout, so take that for what it is. But I have limited experience in MUT, but there is nothing worse than when you face somebody with a 99 overall team with an 82 overall, and after you shut them out in the first quarter, they paused the game, they looked at my team, and they ran stretch for 3 quarters. Now, of course, good matchmaking won't fix play abuse and meta cheese, but at least this would allow no money spent guys to feel like they have a chance and maybe drop that 9 out of 10 games versus a maxed out team down to 4 to 6, depending on your day. I personally like this idea, but unfortunately, as a small channel, my voice isn't really going to be heard because I don't have an overwhelming following. But to help this community out, like the video, it'll recommend it to another person. And if you want to go the extra mile, share this with a bigger YouTuber. You don't have to mention me or anything, but just share the idea with a bigger YouTuber. Maybe they'll cover it and maybe it'll ring some bells. But yeah, like, I don't know if I explained that perfectly well, but the idea is there. Have some greater minds build upon it. Tell them to fix the matchmaking to where you can matchmake to certain overall queues and you can drop up and down. So now we're not facing, you know, overpowered teams. You know, if somebody's running cheesy plays, you know what I'm saying, and we both have a 70 overall team, it's on you to stop the cheesy play. All right, like you can, the glitchiest play in the game, if you user it right, isn't so glitchy anymore. But when they have a 99 overall team and they can run stretch and dive the whole game, there's really nothing you can do about that. But that's enough from me. Y'all go do y'all thing. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you know, man, because we know we up next. Sponsored by Atari. And